lots of law enforcement witnesses to quickly go through corroboration of Sarah Boone's reports of prior contacts with law enforcement and law enforcement coming out when there had been calls relating to domestic violence. Law enforcement corroborated the things that she said in her testimony. When they came out with the incident where she had the black eye from being kicked, they corroborated that when they came out, she had injury to her face and reported that she was kicked and said that she fucking fought back. That's what she said in her testimony yesterday. We also saw Sarah Boone corroborated with other law enforcement, and we saw the defense eliciting that on some of those instances, she had also been arrested and got out ahead of that, but we knew that. Then they called a forensic psychologist who did not evaluate Sarah Boone to talk about battered person syndrome in general, to talk about intimate partner violence in general. And I think that was maybe the state's best cross-examination so far. The state used that witness to explain things like narcissistic personality disorder, alcohol abuse disorder, and other disorders. And they used this witness to go through what a thorough and complete evaluation for a trauma-based disorder would look like. They also talked a bit about perception management, and it was interesting that we got to that conversation in all of this because honestly, some of the things that the prosecution brought up, you're sitting there going, yep, that's exactly what we saw in Sarah Boone's interview. And I think that's probably what the jury was nodding along thinking too. They brought in the defense's other expert who did evaluate Sarah Boone. It seemed the state saved most of their cross-examination of Sarah Boone for cross-examination of Sarah Boone's expert and really started dialing into the expert on things that I would have thought they would have crossed Sarah Boone on, including, well, she said this, but then she said this, and then she said this. So maybe that was the strategy, to go after the expert who was talking about Sarah Boone's statements to her about the case versus going round and round and round and round and round with Sarah Boone on the stand.